Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Joining us here again today is Erin MacNeil, the founder and CEO of the Spa Business Coach. And yeah, that's what she does. She's helping businesses all over the world really, run their business the right way, increase profitability, and offers virtual and in-person coaching, helping with operations, leadership, financials. She does it all. So med spas, aesthetic practice owners, listen up. Erin is here. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about you, Jill?
I'm doing great. Pleasure to be back here on this hump day. Well, it's not hump day, it's the day
Yes,
after, but close to the weekend day is what I meant.
it does feel that way because here in Canada we had a holiday on Monday. So it
What
does feel like
holiday?
a Wednesday, but it's actually Thursday.
What holiday did you have?
I actually have no idea. I think
Oh,
it's a new holiday. I feel like in the last few years, I was overseas for quite a few years, right?
yes.
And when I moved back to Canada, I think they added 2 or 3 extra holidays that I had no clue about. So
Love it. Love
we're
it.
we're just enjoying the extra holiday while it's warm and it's summertime.
Beautiful. Excited to have you here live from Toronto. Is where is she from? Tell us a little bit about the work you do for new time listeners before we get into today's talk, a little bit about vision and all.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do focused business coaching for med spas and aesthetic practices.
Okay.
And for us, we really focus on 3 main pillars inside of business because any project I've ever worked on, we always have to fix and educate on numbers and
Mm-hmm.
financials. Then we have to do operations and team building and leadership. So those are the main pillars that we help our clients build and scale their med spa practices.
Beautiful. And how do we find you? Tell us the website and all the social media pages.
Absolutely. You can find us on all the socials at the Spa Business Coach. So that's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and our website is the same, thespabusinesscoach.com.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being here. And for those listeners today, you were discussing vision mid-year. Tell us what the topic is.
Yeah. So I thought, where we're at in the year, we are just past the middle of the year, but more importantly, for med spas and aesthetic practices, we
Mm-hmm.
have a lull through the summer, so it's not as busy. But this is the time of year in the next 2 weeks where everyone's really coming back together and going, okay, what is our strategy to finish the year strong?
Yep.
And so at this point, it's a really great point in the year where you want to go back to initially, what did we set out to do in
Yep.
January?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why we say vision and mission is because typically at the beginning of the year, you're revising your vision and the direction that your business is going.
So true.
And
Yep.
so we like to revisit it right now because if you had a really busy year, or maybe your business is growing, or maybe you've had some challenges, we are now 8 months into the year and we need to recalibrate. A lot of the time we have to go, okay, we lost focus, or I feel overwhelmed, or I feel completely lost and I don't really know what's next for my business. And so it's a great time to kind of go back to the drawing board
Yeah.
and revisit our vision, our mission, and our value system. And why that's so important is because we need to make sure that the direction we're going in is aligned with our vision, is in alignment with the goals that we have
Yeah.
that we set at the beginning of the year. And because also, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, it's recruitment season. And if you don't have a clear
Ah.
understanding, yeah, if you don't have a clear understanding of your vision, your mission, and your value system, who you serve, what you do, and why you're doing it, you can't
Mm-hmm.
attract your ideal, not just
Okay.
your ideal client, but you can't attract your ideal team member. And
True.
so it's a really good time at this point in the year because a lot is going to happen in the next 4 months inside med spas, inside of spa businesses, or even if you're a solo nurse injector, you're about to
Mm.
have the busiest part of the year happen in the next 4 months. So getting prepared, just like anything, right? When you feel lost or overwhelmed, or you
Ah.
feel like, okay, I have something big coming up, we have to refocus in what is our purpose? Why are we doing this? What is the outcome that we want? What is the direction I'm going in? And if we can stop for a pause and revisit our
Maybe.
vision, our mission, our values, we can recalibrate because, it's like it's August. So maybe throughout the year, you've let a little bit of poor behavior slide on the team because you're busy. Or
Definitely.
a team member
Guilty.
that you need to hire on, or a team member maybe you need to let go of, right? It's like, how do I finish the year strong? And or revisit if we're not hitting our goals or we're not getting the sales we want, it could be because we're completely out of alignment. Just like anything in your own personal life, if you have a big goal that you want to get to, but you've let things distract you, you're maybe a bit off course. So we have to do this in business as well.
Okay, I'm like, you're resonating with me right here, girl. Yes, I'm off course. I got to get back. I get it. It happens. It's this time of year, right? You said it's the halfway. What do we call it in your business?
So I just like, we're just like, when I say we're midway through, we're about to go into the fourth quarter of the year, right?
Got it.
And so for the fourth quarter, if you own a med spa, a traditional spa, an aesthetic practice, for the beauty industry as a whole, October, November, December is where you're going to make the most money all year long. And if you're not prepared, meaning you've lost your way, or you're being distracted, or maybe you're holding on to team members or things that aren't serving you, you might not capitalize on that fourth quarter as much as you could.
Interesting.
Yeah, right. It's like anything else, right? It's like getting in all of the practice and all of the training before the big game, right? It's like we're going into the fourth quarter. And for the beauty business, this is just, it's like people just open their wallets from October to December. Not just because of its gift giving season when we look at the major holidays, but
Yeah,
even
but
if we look at
it's,
something like Black Friday, which isn't normally around gift giving, is like giving back to ourselves, right? So lots of
yeah,
customers are out there looking for, what can I spend my money on? Or I've been waiting for
true.
Black Friday to buy that big package. And so if you, again, just going back to vision and mission values, if your team isn't ready to serve, or they're not,
Yeah,
you haven't refined your practice enough to really attract your ideal client or be prepared to serve that ideal client, and you're allowing poor behavior or poor practices to continue to lead your business, you might
then,
not get the sales you want. So
yeah,
this is why I say, like, in August, it's a really good time because most beauty businesses have had a slower June, July, August.
okay.
And it's a really good time to kind of get everyone back together and go, okay, this is our game plan. This is the mission we're on. This is our vision for the next 4 months, and making sure we're communicating that, right? Because if our team doesn't know what we're thinking or the direction we're going in, they can't support us.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's so true. This is like the time. My goodness. So this is where things are starting to pick up for you, right? And, how do you address, with your customers to start this whole vision process? What do you do as a coach? How are you guiding them through this part of the year?
Yeah, I love that you asked that question because we are literally 8 weeks from Q4 starting, right? October
Okay.
1st. And so we have our signature 8 week program that we are enrolling people this week,
Okay.
because we want you to be ready when Q4 hits. You will be ready. And so we've actually curated our 8 week program at this point in the year. We've
Wow.
evaluated what modules we teach specifically right now,
Okay.
so that you can take advantage of the busy season in the best way possible, be set up for success, have the understanding, the knowledge, the practices, the systems, so you can get the most reward out of the hard work that you've put in now. So we literally have an 8 week program that we enroll right now, so that you are ready when the market is ready. You're ready. You're kind of like, I don't know if you ever seen those commercials or seen those things on like YouTube, where on Black Friday you see the team inside like Walmart, and then it's
Yep.
like, okay guys, we're going to open the doors, and then
Yep.
all
When
the
I run
clients
in.
flood
Yep.
in.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
metaphorically, that's what it's like in the beauty industry leading up to Q4. Q4 is like opening the
wow.
doors, and everyone's like, okay, like
Rushing
funneling in.
in and like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so you want to be prepared, right? You want to make sure that everything is dialed in and locked in for your team in the way that you show up, and the customer service and the experience, and just really getting things refined so that when people do come in, they spend more than they typically would.
Got it. Mm-hmm. Oh my
Yeah, so it's a
goodness.
good time. You go back to the drawing board and just make sure you're in alignment with what you set out to do. Because even if you're falling behind in your goals and it's August, you've
Yeah.
got a big opportunity to make that up.
I was going to ask, how are we making it up? What are some of the things you're doing to help them?
So specifically, we look at numbers and
Okay.
strategies. So do we have, and that's why I say it's recruitment season, do we have enough team members
Okay.
to serve the amount of business that we are projecting to have? And so we help you understand how to figure out your projections, what team members you need, or understanding the valuation of how each team member would serve
Mm-hmm.
or bring in revenue, and what are those just daily, weekly, and monthly practices you do as a business, but then for individuals on each team. So looking at what are we doing daily, weekly, monthly in terms of just daily operations, but also a higher strategy around, do I have the right people on my team and do I have enough people on my team? In the sense
Mm.
that a lot of our clients, if we look at last year, Q4, they were already fully booked.
Yeah.
Therefore, if you haven't added a team member, guess what's going to happen again this year?
Yeah.
You're probably going to be fully booked, which means, here's the
Mm.
worst part, which means you have turnaway business. So you have
Oh,
business that's trying to pay you and you have to turn it away because you haven't hired. And so we help you break down, do you have the right team and enough team members to serve the projected amount of business that's going to come to you this year? Because I've seen most aesthetic businesses or med spas, you're growing year over year. So if you haven't changed or added in your team, you might have business that you have to say no to. And who loves that? Like,
I
who
know,
likes to
right?
say no to the money, right?
It's
That's
so
the whole
true.
point of
But
business. So yeah, some of those specific things are we dial in on our systems to help you sell more packages, sell more
okay.
retail, sell more services to position you in a way that you maybe serve differently to gain those sales. The other things are really tracking and looking at specific numbers so that you can measure each day if you're hitting your goals, and looking at, again, your overall team structure. Do you have enough people or enough of the right people on your team who can serve what we're anticipating in terms of business flow? So those
Got
are
it.
specifics that we're really looking into, because in our industry, in the beauty industry, a lot of people don't love selling and they don't
Mm-hmm.
love sales. They love to be educators. And so we've really
Yep.
factored that in as well, is giving you the skill set and the tools to be able to sell, but without feeling the ick. Because I know a lot of people are like, I don't want to do that.
Yep. Ick. I love that. The
Right?
ick. Yes.
Yeah, because a lot of folks in the beauty industry, myself included, when I was a provider, I used to always think in my head, like, I don't want to be pushy and I don't want that person to not like me. So
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't sell things. I just
True.
was like, providing a service and crossing my fingers that they enjoyed it enough to come back. Well,
Mm-hmm.
fast forward 20 years, I've learned all of the best practices to retain that client, make them happy, and get them to spend more. And it's just a nuanced thing around, how do I position myself to have
Yep.
conversations that don't feel salesy, but can close a sale. And so we've
Very
got that
true.
packed into our 8-week program.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And tell me about this 8-week program in particular.
Yeah, so this is we have a program called Spa Profits Academy, and we really help businesses that are in and around that $10,000 a month all the way up to 80 or $100,000 a month. And what we're really doing, again, we're focused on those three areas inside business, which are numbers and data, like numbers and financials, your operation, getting
Yeah.
really refined systems and practices so it requires less of you so you're not as stressed. And we help you with team building and leadership, because you can't build a great
Mm-hmm.
team if you are not a great leader. So we've packed some portions of that
Awesome.
into 8 weeks, but ultimately we actually help to support over the course of a year. But the first 8 weeks is the pivotal time that we want to make sure that we are getting you over the hurdle that you have right now and into that next milestone so your business can keep growing.
Nice. Thank you. Remind us how we can reach out to you. Great talking today. My goodness, you're on a
Yes.
roll. You always are, but go ahead.
Absolutely. You can find us on all the socials at the Spa Business Coach on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram. And then, of course, through our website, the spabusinesscoach.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Also,
All right.
what I
Go
didn't
ahead.
mention before
Oh,
that
sure.
I just realized is we have a Facebook group, a free Facebook group, and I actually go live in that Facebook group every week. I do complimentary coaching in that Facebook group. And the Facebook group name is Seven Figure Spa Secrets. So I don't know why I didn't think to say that before.
Oh my, tell
But
me.
yes, I do coaching there every Thursday. So just before this call, I do coaching in
Wow.
that group so that if you have questions, and all of the coaching that we do has been put in the archives in that Facebook group. So by now there are dozens and dozens and dozens of videos, little mini courses and how-tos and worksheets, so that even if
Oh,
you're at a
wow.
point in your business where maybe
That,
you're not ready for a coach, or in your mind's eye, you're like,
mm-hmm.
okay, I want to do some work, but I'm not quite ready to financially commit to this big investment. This is a really great way to get the information, tools, and resources that you need to get you going, or at least get you some wins. And we're here to support you. So we have a free Facebook group. It is Seven Figure Spa Secrets, and I go live every single Thursday. And I do hot seat coaching. If someone is brave enough to join and they want to raise their hand, I do hot seat coaching so that you can get the answers, right? Without having to
Yeah.
commit.
Oh my gosh, I love this. Thank you for sharing that. And on Facebook, how do we find you?
So on Facebook, the group's name is Seven Figure Spa Secrets, but you can still find me on Facebook as Erin MacNeil Beauty Business Coach.
Okay.
But it is linked with my Instagram. So typically if you Google that, you're going to find the Facebook page, and the Facebook page will redirect you to join the group. Now, the group, we do qualify you to get in the group. So you do have to have a beauty business, because we are really, as you probably gathered by now, it's really important that I build a community where people feel safe to share ideas and ask questions. And so
Yeah.
we do look through to make sure that you fit the qualifications to go in the group, but you could be an aspiring beauty business owner. Maybe you're in beauty school. Maybe it's something that you want a spa one day, you don't quite yet have it.
Yeah.
There's lots of resources in there that can help you get over that first big step of opening your business.
Amazing. Wow. Thank you for this. This is exciting. You seem stoked. It's like that time of year, right? It's like Christmas is coming for you. It's the busy
Yes.
season,
Well,
right?
it's because for us, we know that, like, the way that we operate, we know we're also, by way of just the beauty industry, the seasonality of lots of providers take a break, because a lot of the audience that they serve are moms and
Mm-hmm.
business
Yes, us.
other business owners or workers who take time off in the summer. Therefore, their commitment to doing services and treatments is a little bit less than it is, let's say, September through to May. And so that also affects us in the way that our clients, the business owners, they're also taking a break. So for us, I get excited because I'm like, I know in the next 10 days, people are starting to think about, oh, geez, what am I doing to finish this year strong? What am I doing? I need to hire that person. What am I doing to get more sales? So they're refocusing. They're kind of coming back from vacation, if you will, and things are starting to get serious again. So I get excited because I know that our 8-week program is tried and true. It's
Yeah.
something that I did as a spa director for many years in terms of helping my team members understand how to sell, how to retain clients, how to keep attracting those clients and get referrals. And also just some of those fundamentals on how do we track our progress to make sure that if we're not hitting the mark, we can refine things. But if
So
we are
true.
hitting the mark, how do we dial it up?
Dial it up a notch. I think it's time. Wow. And you're working with spas, aesthetic owners. Tell me the types of businesses that you would benefit. And clearly, I know you're all over. You're in Canada, but you work with people all over the world.
Yeah, I actually just had an inquiry come in from New Zealand yesterday. So
Wow.
because we are
That's
a
cool.
digital platform, we do
Yeah.
all of our coaching through Zoom. So even for our clients who are in a different time zone and they can't necessarily make the calls live, they have always the option to watch it back. So what we do is 100% digital, so that we share all of the templates and worksheets are through Google Drive. So that's easy for people to use. And again, Google is all around the world, so you can get it anywhere. And everything lives in an online platform. And even when we talk about direct access in real time, I have a private Telegram channel that all of
Hmm.
our clients are in. So we've got our own group and they know how they use that direct channel to talk to me in real time. If things are hitting the fan and they need an answer right away, they can
Yeah.
DM me directly through our Telegram channel. So we try to keep that. And even for the clients who are 20 minutes down the road. Some things happen in real time
Yep.
where they need an answer now. They can't wait for the coaching call, right?
Nope.
And so
Nope.
we use that so that people know that they're supported, whether it's a module they're working on inside the
Or,
program or a real life event that just happened. So
hmm
sometimes it's interesting. We'll get these messages from clients that's like, "Hey, Erin, 911 emergency. I've
You're
had
like,
a, a a time with this one employee and
hmm
and this is what just happened and how do I respond, and they'll share screenshots and they're like, this is what they sent me, how do I respond? And so we can respond in real time as well. And our clients, even though we're not doing it in person, we do some in-person stuff, which is more of our VIP work, but everything is virtual, everything is digital, so that you still have access to us as real people in real time, but also there is an option to do things a little bit more at your own pace.
cool.
And I know a lot of business owners appreciate that because a lot of them they have families, they have real lives outside of work, and they're trying to serve their clients. So it works out really well for the type of clients that we work with.
Got it. Thank you for sharing that. Awesome. All right, we still have some more time left. What else did you want to make sure we cover for today?
Yeah, I think it's just whether you're in the beauty business or not, it is a really great time to kind of recalibrate because even if you have a retail business,
Yeah.
if we look at Q4, typically retail goes up. If you have any kind of service-based business, it typically goes up before the end of the year, right? Lots of people are trying to get their appointments. And even I think about dentists, right? Even if you're a dentist, you're probably
hmm
fully booked in December and November because people remember, oh, shoot, I haven't been to the dentist
Yep.
yet this year. And so it's not just for beauty businesses, but I think if you can take the time to go back to the drawing board and go, okay, what was the direction and vision and mission we had to hit this year? Am I still in alignment with that? Am I still showing up and mirroring and modeling the behavior to hit those goals? And if not, it's not too late.
Yeah.
It's a good time as I would say in North America specifically, a lot of people come back from vacation and now it's a mindset shift going from easy breezy summer to, okay, let's get back to business. So it's a really great time to go back and revisit where are we at with the goals that we set out at the beginning of the year because it's not too late. You can still get those goals.
Beautiful. I love it. And, just a little bit about your background. If someone's new to the show today, how did you get in the field of coaching? Obviously, could you share your experience in this field?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I started out in the early 2000s as an esthetician and a laser
Uh-huh.
tech and a trainer. And then I moved into management of med spas. And over time, I moved into traditional resort and spas for a luxury
Yeah.
hotel group. I have lived and worked in 5 different countries as a spa and wellness director, recouping lost profits, rebuilding
Mm-hmm.
teams, and making sure that every project I worked on was
Yep.
highly profitable and working really well before I went on to the next one. And I took my 20 years of experience and put it all into my digital program so that you, as a beauty business owner, don't have to do what I did. You don't have to use the next 20 years to learn the lessons. You can get the lessons in the next
Yay.
year.
Yep.
So that shaves off 20 years. Let's have success now and not have to wait for it. So that's how I came to have the program and do the coaching is, over the
Wow.
last 20 years, I've coached, mentored, and was in leadership roles of hundreds of employees and team members, watching them develop, watching them rise, helping other practices rebuild, grow, scale, and become profitable. So now our mission at the Spa Business Coach is to take the ordinary person who wants an extraordinary business. We're going to give you the tools how to do it.
Love it. And you are on fire. When you talk to someone for a consultation, tell us the process, how they can reach you.
Oh, absolutely. I always do discovery calls to see if this is a good fit for you, if or how I could help, and at the very least point you in the right direction. But through Instagram, you can DM me on Instagram, or you can actually there's a link in my Instagram where you can actually just go ahead and book something on my calendar. So
Amazing.
my Instagram is at the Spa Business Coach.
Great. Thank you so much. Pleasure having you here. And of course,
Absolutely.
always love speaking with you. Thank you for sharing all this. So next show, what's happening in the next show? Do you have a teaser for next week?
Oh,
Yeah.
I
You don't
wasn't
need one.
thinking about next week, but yeah, now that you say it, we're going to continue with not just vision, mission, values, but looking at, do we have the right team? How do you know that you've got enough team members to serve your audience? So I always like to throw out a couple numbers and metrics for people to focus in on.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Pleasure having you here as always. And looking
Thank you.
forward to next week's chat as well. Have a great day.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you so much. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.